Bradipus variatus, also known as the brown-throated three-toed sloth, is blank to humid, wooded, evergreen areas of Honduras to northern Argentina. Almost exclusively a blank creature, the sloth is experiencing habitat destruction as many of Brazil's forests undergo the blank process of clear cutting. Okay, so there is a lot going on here, like many a three blank text completion. In this case, we want to start off with the first blank, and we know the sloth is blank to these certain regions. So we want a word like indigenous. And the reason we know that's the word is the sloth is found in these particular areas. Its home tends to be these wooded, evergreen areas. So we know then for the second blank, and we'll come back to the first blank in a moment, but for the second blank, what sort of creature is it? Well, if it lives in wooded evergreen areas, it is a tree creature. Lives in the trees in these wooded areas. So now we can go to the first and second blank because those kind of flow together and we can see which ones work. Let's start with the first blank. Okay, so indigenous. Does endemic mean indigenous? So endemic does mean indigenous. It means living in or found in a certain area. Inherent talks more about qualities or something abstract that's a part of us. So you wouldn't say an animal is inherent to a certain area. Then pandemic has the same root dem, but pandemic refers to a disease or a virus or any outbreak, such as Ebola, is a pandemic because it spreads everywhere and it kills everyone. So all people, demos comes from the root for people. So basically all people die. Something is pandemic. Of course, the answer is endemic. Then we go to the second blank. We can get rid of nocturnal because that does not mean tree-based. Arbor, think Arbor Day. That's when you plant trees. Arboreal means of or relating to trees. And maybe they're antisocial, but of course that's not what we're going for here. So we so far have our two answers, endemic and arboreal. And then at the end we have the sloth is experiencing habitat destruction as many of Brazil's forests undergo the blank process of clear cutting. So this clear cutting here goes back to this destruction of their homes, of their wooded evergreen areas. And so what sort of process is this clear cutting? Well, it's again destruction of the habitat. So we go to the third blank, and unsustainable. So is it a sustainable process if it's killing all these animals or at least destroying their habitats? And the answer is it's not sustainable. Therefore, it is unsustainable. So that definitely works. Regenerative implies that it's growing things again and it's knocking down or killing all these trees, so it's anything but regenerative. And then silviculture, which is probably just not a word you see every day. Silvicultural means just of relating to the maintenance of trees, and we see, maybe you know the word sylvan. Sylvan is of relating to the woods or the forest or trees, and that same root there, sylv. So silvicultural, relating again to management of trees, but it doesn't have that connotation of some negative process that is destroying everything the way unsustainable does. And there are our three answers: endemic, arboreal, and unsustainable.